Yeah, price action is king. Okay. Price action is king. Let's get right into it, man. Mic check, mic check. Look how perfect this thing look, man. So Friday price action, let's break it down. Look how smooth this is, man. So this is Friday. So first thing we do, we get an S&T. Now we get a change in the state of delivery right here. Either these two candles or these two close below. And then you're looking for the inverse for value gap, right? Inverse for value gap right here. Boom. Which is the first percentage for value gap. Also, you could have used that one. Or up here, displays down, create another change in the state. It's entry time. You put your stop loss, your entry right here. Sorry. Put your entry right here, stop loss at the high around here. And then you could have been targeting, could have either been targeting this low hanging fruit right here or 830. So that's still 100 points. Look how far it ran. Look how far that thing ran. Look at that. That's lovely. That thing ran for 310 points. And then, but look at the continuation though. You have to be mindful of what's really going on. So we get SMT, change in the state, close below this percent value gap. Bullish candle, displays lower, order block. We leave it breakaways. This is a breakaway. Breakaway, letting you know that we're heavy. We're leaving inefficiencies, and we do not want to come back to them. This fair value gap right here, I was expecting this to get used as an inverse because you see what happened? 930, mark open right here. It comes down, sweep out this liquidity right here. Stop. You see how it stops right at equilibrium? Look at that. It stopped right at equilibrium of this fair value gap. So I was expecting it once it closed below here to get used as an inverse. So you see right here, we had a little consolidation right here. So I tap back to the CB, close below, creating an order block. Now we're using this one as an inverse, expand lower all the way to the 830 open. So now we have this. These are all low resistance liquidity right here. All right here. So I'm expecting these lows to get taken with speed, just how we see speed right after these lows. So we get to pull back to the CB, displacement lower. So now the main target usually is midnight, depending on where midnight is at, right? So you see midnight open is right here. And look at that. We actually expand literally directly to the midnight open. But then after that, what happens? We go lower. We leave a CB. This is how you know when it goes lower. It start leaving inefficiencies right at the low, right? And it start respecting order flow. Expand lower. We finally reach the low of this new week opening gap. Now it's time to what? Expand back up higher because everything was done. Everything got ran out. It dropped 300 points. So we know it wasn't going to come back all the way up here, but midnight open is usually always a draw. Look at that. You get a low, high, lower low, higher high, which is a breaker. Let me delete this orange zone right here because I was expecting this to be as an inverse right here. That's why I had the orange zone right there. Look at that breaker. We get a low, high, lower low, higher high. Breaker. That's my bread and butter play right there. So let me fire him up right quick. Look at the breaker. The breakers on my favorite place because you do not have to risk a lot of money. Look at this. Entry. So once they close above here, you want to wait for a run inside of it because you want to see it stay in the upper half of the breaker. Breakers that come down here to the lower half, kind of a low probability. But as long as you don't see no bodies down here and only wicks come down here, we okay. Because remember, we can use this city right here as the inverse. See how we used it, kind of? See it? Draw it out. You see it. This is actually a balanced price range. That's why sometimes price will never come back down here because it actually could be a balanced price range. So you see how I use the city? You try to hit, and look, it just so happened to stop at equilibrium. Rally. Come back to the breaker. Rally to TP. Look, that was a quick little 57 points you got to call. Risking 20. So you see I'm risking 20 points to make 57. That's a great R&R, 2.7 R. So now that's Friday's price action. Thursday's price action was a little. So look at Thursday. So as you see, we've been concerned. We was actually just accumulating all night, right? From about 3 in the morning all the way to like 7. Just been in this one little range. So finally, when 9:30 happened, usually I would be look how perfect it respects mean threshold. You can't make that up. I'm scared. I love ICT concepts. This is 9:30. Market comes up. Well, it's already up. It just expands lower. Creates a percent fair value gap. And some days the market is just gonna rally like this to the downside. It's just gonna drop without giving you no chance to get in. You have to be okay with it. Days like this. It's all okay. One thing ICT said that you never want to actually be upset when the trade runs without you. You don't even. Well, he said I forgot the words he used. Sorry about that. I see it. I forgot the word he used, but basically like you never need to be mad that it's going to run down without you because you can always catch another trade. So and then after that, it kind of just went back and forth the rest of the day. This is how you actually get better. You want to draw all the plays that you would potentially get into it, right? And then eventually see. So these are all the plays that I've actually caught or the plays that I missed. Right, look at this. We get a sweep on liquidity. So this is not so all of you know. So from here is 9:30 to 12. That's my trading window. That's when I trade. So you see, we got buy side above us and we got some sell side. So look what happened. We come down 9:30. 9:30, we aggressively go lower, which is the Judas win. It's the fake out. You have to understand the fake out. It takes a little bit of time to really put it into context, but if you be patient, you will see it like, oh man, this is the fake out. Because if I'm expecting it to go higher, you have to wait for the manipulation to go lower first, right? So we get accumulation, right? Market open, manipulation down, sweeping out this low and sweeping out this low, right? We get the manipulation down and then we get perfect order flow to go back higher for the distribution leg. So that's why a lot of good trades happen after 10 o'clock or right at 10 o'clock around there because it's the 4 hour, I think it's the 4 hour candle. It's the distribution candle, right? Which is the power of 3. Because we all know for it to go up, they gotta go down first. For it to go down, they gotta go up first. If you want to keep going higher, they gotta go lower to go get the liquidity to rally. Anyways, we get a sweep. Then we get an inverse fair value gap right here. Then we get the change in the state right here. This We get a bullish candle, bearish candle, close above, change in the state. This fair value gap. You see how it gets used right here again? You see how it comes into the inverse, go away from it. I even see that it created an order block right here. This is the order block. Right outside of this inverse fair value gap. And look at this. Look, this is why I really think that Wicks, you can literally use Wicks as actually PD rates. Look at that. Look how perfect it respected. So you see how it closed above. This is the water block, whatever. Rally, right? Rally. Look what happens. It comes back down. Remember, the market has to do these 4 things: generate liquidity, hunt the liquidity, rebalance to inefficiency, or rebalance to equilibrium. Look at that. Look how it pulls right back to this inefficiency, which is, this is a fair value gap right here, and this is a wick. Look how it stops right at mean threshold. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Hey, listen, man. One thing about trading, bro. One thing about trading. Once you really understand what's going on, you feel like you're on top of the world all the time. Expand, water block, changing the state, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. Look at that. It hit it. Look at that. Pull back right on the money. Look at that. Right at this opening price. TP. Come on, man. Come on, man. The problem is you really gotta study and really take a long time to understand these concepts. Lovely. Look at this date. This was Tuesday. Oh, before I go there, look at this. Oh my God, marvelous. So we get the S&T, change in the state. There was no inverse fair value gap. There was no inverse fair value gap. But as you see, it just used its regular inefficiency right here. And it just started just, gosh, look, this is money. Look, it just kept going. I'm with points that is, bro. These are the plays that I literally catch. Risking what? 30 points, which is right in the range. We've been targeting all of these low, all of this. Look at all of these lows right here. I think it's look how it so happily stopped right at this new week opening gap. Look at that shit. It stopped literally right here. Last one. I began so excited. It's because it was a point of time when I literally didn't know nothing about trading. That's the thing. It was literally a point of time when I didn't understand nothing about what I was looking at. The fact that I literally understand what's going on, bro. Purpose sensitive, used as an inverse. Came back to the order block right here. Tapping to the infinity, sweat one of the internals. I'm done. Oh, that. I got one more. Look how lovely this was. Look how lovely that was. This is what I mean low resistance, low resistance trading right here. You gotta understand the difference between a high resistance market and a low resistance market. This is so perfect, man. Get the sweep, get the pullback, get the breaker low high. Get the breaker. low, high, low, low, higher, high, rally, pull right back to independency. It didn't have enough weight. It definitely did. It looked like it didn't touch it, but then if I zoom in some more. So you see how it stopped right there, like it didn't touch the blue? I enjoy it right now. Now it touched it. Rally, nigga. What point this is, bro? Like going off of the breaker. The problem with the breaker, so it's like sometimes you see how it never came back to the breaker right away, like it just expanded and it ran. Some people get caught in that. So sometimes when they got learned, it has to come back into the breaker before it actually runs. Like it can just run, but it's gonna come back. At least it's gonna come back, at least tap it, at least and then run. So sometimes I kind of just, depending if I understand was like once I would have saw this order block right here and it closed up here, I would have got in immediately and put my stop right here. Because I know once it goes above, it's really not gonna come back down here because it's finished here. Right. See, this is a balanced price frame. You get the single SIBI, and then you get this BC right here. And then you see how it's done down here. It's done down here. Balanced price frame right here. Floop, floop. Breaker, tap it, rally. You see, you wasn't even done. You see, it ran some more. Swept the highs, ran a little bit more. Then look what happens now. They do the same thing. Just the same thing, but this one was just making lower highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high until they got swept. This actually could have been a S&T right here. Or it could have just been a sweep on internals. This place lower. Oh my God, look how perfect that was. Oh, hold on. Let me break it down before I go. So we get liquidity. So we get lower high, lower high, lower high, and so right here we get that. You see how? So we got a high. It finally swept it. Then it finally swept this one. I don't know why my shit be doing that. Anyways, so we finally get one sweep, which it could have been a possibility. It could have been an SMT. We get the any person value gap change in the state. Look at that. Look how it pulls right back. It's down here, right? Look how it pulls right back to the inefficiency. Right before it goes down. Right before it just gets placed lower. And if you really want to get close, you'll draw this wick right. You'll use this whole wick right here. Because it didn't even have the willingness. And then I really think it used this. Oh, that's what happened. It used this inverse fair value gap right here. I'm done for the day. I'm done. So I just did a video for about what? 18 minutes. Nobody came on and watched anything, but it's okay. We know why it's okay. More fire. Because it's going to be a time. I ain't even going to say that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all on the next one.